How's it going, YouTube? I'm James. Welcome to the CAR-NIVORE YouTube channel. We're at the swap house today, and I want to bring a special video to you guys about my high mileage C5 Corvette. It's a 1999. It's got over 230,000 miles on it, and I know a lot of people get scared when they see Corvettes that have high mileage. They don't know if it's going to be reliable, etc., etc. And I'm here to tell you, it's definitely worth the investment. All right, let me give you a little bit of backstory. I got this car exactly 2 years ago to this date, and I only spent $6,000 on it. I'm not gonna wait till the end of the video to give you the fucking price. That's stupid. But $6,000, I got this beast, and it has done nothing but great things for me. I even daily drove it for 6 months when my Camaro over there was a little under the weather. So I'm going to give you a little tour. I'm going to show you what kinds of things to expect, what kind of things, problems that I may have had, what things I've heard other people have, and just to show you genuinely what to expect if you buy a high mileage vet. And trust me, do it. All right, hi Justin, this is my twin Justin, if you don't know. First, let's talk about pricing. So what I've seen is for Corvettes, basically in C5s are, just a quick story, C5s are my favorite Corvette. I just like, I'm a 90s kid, so I like 90s cars, and this was the epitome of the 90s right here, man. LS power, pretty reliable. This was every little boy's dream car if they weren't looking at Zondas and Lamborghinis and Ferraris and shit. But anyway, I bought this car for $6 grand. It is a manual 6-speed car, which you usually don't find. They don't just jump off cliffs. You know, they're not everywhere. Well, that's about as low as I'm willing to pay for a car, because if you're seeing cars for $5,000, maybe, I haven't seen one for $4,000, but they're usually going to be salvage title cars, you know, and I don't really want a salvage Corvette. So $6 grand is about a comfort zone for me from what I've seen, especially for 6-speed. That's actually the cheapest 6-speed that I've personally seen ever, that's not wrecked. And I'm very proud of it, and it's very fun. And I actually never thought I would own a vet in my life, but when I saw this on Craigslist, 2 years ago, I could not turn it down. So some problems to expect. We're gonna start with the exterior. Honestly, the number one thing, these paint chips, man. Unless you have a clear bra or a bra in general. I was fortunate enough that this car was actually repainted at some point in time. It might have just been a Mako paint job or something, but it was repainted. You see, it's not perfect, but it actually looks pretty good from far away and on camera, I guess. But you're going to have paint chips. This doesn't bother me. Honestly, this is to me, battle scar. This is just, I'm actually kind of proud of these. I mean, I didn't put all the mileage on it. I bought it at 220,000 miles and now it sits at 235. Expect paint chips, expect flaws. That doesn't bother me, but if it bothers you, hey, now you know. The previous owner put these stripes on there. You see, it's not the best job. Someone could have definitely done better, but I think they look fucking great to me. Other things, since they repainted it, my badge came off, which I might clean it up and not even put it back on there. But the badge came off because they had to take it off and repaint it, but it just, I guess they put on some cheap shit and it just popped back off. The pop-up headlights, a lot of people do have issues with those. I have been fortunate enough to have zero problems with my, well, they come up just fine. I'm actually looking to get some new lights, and the HIDs came with it, but I'm kind of tired of HIDs, by the way. Anyway, pop-up headlights work on mine. Be on the lookout to see if you're interested in a high mileage vet, see if their pop-up headlight. Oh, look. Huh. Well, there's another thing. Just, there's always going to be something, man. It's always something. Anyway, my headlights work. The only thing that's weird are these HIDs. See, sometimes when I turn it off, it doesn't go down. Then, if I put it in bright mode, it goes down. And do you hear that? That motor takes a while for it to stop. But if I don't let it finish that sound, my HIDs, it's not doing it now, obviously, because I did it right. You can actually see that my HIDs are still on. So, not really sure what that is, but that's why I'm getting rid of the HIDs and getting some LEDs. That video will be coming soon when I install it. See, paint job. They didn't do the door jambs very well. Make sure this is a Target top. Make sure that your rubber, check your rubbers. When I first got this, it was leaking. It actually still leaks a little bit because it's not fitting exactly perfect, but it's not too bad. That's why I got a car cover. The rubber on my Target top is getting pretty ripped up. I think you can see that pretty good. So when I wash it or when it rains, it drips a little bit inside, and I'll show more on that later. Still got, I got some random scratches. This is another badge. It looks like they deleted it instead of trying to install it, just like the front. And it's got some little bubbles there. Unique to my car, they did a muffler delete. I don't know if it was the previous owner or the owner before, but the exhaust tips, the previous owner said that he didn't like how far they stuck out, so he decided to chop them off. So I'm gonna have to get that fixed eventually. It just hasn't been bothering me, so I'm not looking at the back of my car all the time. The rims and tires did not come on the car. I put those on. They came with the stock rims that are over here now. But yeah, honestly, for the exterior, that's about it. I'll get under the hood and I'll do the interior next. All right, under the hood, not a lot of problems, like honestly at all. My power steering is leaking, and it's kind of dripping on the belt and then slinging it everywhere. So I gotta figure that out. I don't know if you can see that. I'm starting to lose light because it is the afternoon. But the previous owner took off the Corvette cover. I don't care about that. He did the valve covers and painted them. I think that was supposed to be red, but it's orange. Has an LS6 intake and an aftermarket intake. There are drains, we call them udders, Corvette udders, right? So basically where you see the rain catches and it filters it over here and it tries to keep debris out of the udders, there's one big udder that goes under the battery, and there's 3 more udders on this side. If you're getting a high mileage vet, make sure you clean these out. I don't care if the last person said they did, make sure you clean those out, because if you don't, it will clog up with debris and water will start to drip into the car in different places, especially on that side, the battery side. There's a fuse box under the under the dash in the passenger footwell, and that water will drip on top of that fuse box. So that's a weird Corvette thing, but it's a simple fix by cleaning it out. And it was clogged up, and it took 2 seconds to clean it, and I haven't had a problem since. Basically, the problem that I was having was I was having a lot of electrical issues. So the window wipers started having their own mind. Like, they started wiping back and forth by themselves, and it was kind of weird and scary, but it ended up being that simple. I just cleaned the udders. I didn't have the problem again. Once the fuse box dried out, I didn't have a problem. And luckily for me, that was the only issue I had. I have other issues, electrical issues and, you know, stuff like that, but I think they're stem from different things. I don't think they had anything to do with that. So next, interior. All right, looking at the interior, first thing you're gonna see these cheap eBay racing seats. If you are racing, I got this free with the car. Basically, the issue that was having, here's another issue, the seat that was in here, the electrical seat. See, I still have the wire harness in here. I'll explain why in a sec. The seat, the guy I bought it from was probably like 5'2", 5'1". I'm 5'9", or 5'9 3/4", so 5'10", whatever. And he had the seat pulled up, but then it broke and it couldn't go back anymore. So when I first test drove this car, my knees were all the way up in here, and I still had a blast, and I still wanted to buy it. But I told him, I was like, look, I gotta talk you down a little bit. I cannot enjoy this car the way I want to enjoy it with the seats, with my knees in the damn dashboard, and it's not safe. So he told me, hey man, I got some racing seats that I bought. I never put them in. You just need to buy the mounts. That's it. The frame mounts, or I don't know what the name of it. Anyway, so I got those for 60 bucks on eBay, and bam, got them in. Now, these seats are not made for vets. You gotta get seats that are specifically designed to fit in here. I managed to get these in by popping off the cover, the plastic cover for the back adjustment, and that's squeezed in there. I don't know if you can see it, but that's squeezed in there, and I actually have to get a hammer to yank that thing out if I want to adjust it back, right? So technically this is supposed to be on that side and that's supposed to be on this side, but that's how I managed to get it to fit, because it couldn't fit in the seatbelt, and with the seatbelt right here with that plastic cover there. But you know, with some improvising, I managed to get it to work. Another thing, this harness, I don't need this in here, but I put this harness back in because I was having a lot of issues with this, the memory. Basically, I would get in the car and the steering wheel automatically adjusts where you want it. The mirrors automatically adjust where you want it. The AC adjusts where you want it. And I was running out, it was just adjusting by itself. So I was trying to set it and change it and everything, and it would not cooperate. This would just go up, so I wouldn't be able to see. I'll forget to do it, and then I'll be driving and I'll look in my side mirror and it is somewhere else completely different. So that's not safe. So I had to, what I ended up doing was the key fob stopped working, but then I synced it and got it to work, and then I started having these issues. So what I ended up doing was I dropped the key fob again and it stopped working, so that was cool. And these were still doing the adjustments. So what I did was I went and got that harness, I put it back in just so it will kind of think that that seat is still there, and it stopped for some reason. I don't know why. It stopped adjusting the mirrors, and yeah, so now I don't have to worry about that problem anymore. Damn, I'm really losing light. All right, so for mechanical issues, I ended up needing a new ignition switch. There were a few other things that it seemed like it was. It seemed like it was a starter, it seemed like anything. But basically what was happening was I would put the key in and turn it, but the car didn't act like the key was in there. So it ended up being an ignition switch. The steering wheel stopped doing the hydro adjustments when I took the seat out. So now it stopped memorizing it. The fog lights, the fuse keeps blowing because of the HIDs, so I'm going to be changing those to LEDs. The trunk works perfectly fine, as you hear. Another weird Corvette thing, the trunk will not open if the car is on. The car has to be turned off, which is odd. The center console, clearly this thing, like, this is getting old, it has its miles on it. You see my fake tape job here. This thing had clearly been taken out a billion times, probably to get this in here and to probably do some changes to this. So this is actually an aftermarket center console thing, and it's made out of some shitty ass plastic. The actual Corvette one is a different type of plastic, but it at least looks a little bit better than this. And it has a bunch of weird located bolts inside of it, and if you're not paying attention, you can break them just as easy as you could break this shit. So this is very fucked up. This radio doesn't fit properly. They went and got some fake carbon fiber trim here. Like I said, this stuff doesn't bother me. I can fix it really easily. Whatever, everything still works. So all I care about is the performance, just FYI. Anyway, this hazard light button does not work. It keeps getting pushed back. So that's another issue. Randomly last winter, when I came in the car to get something out the glove box, the lock inside of it just snapped. So that is using Gorilla Tape to keep it on there. Somebody that used to drive this car had a kid, and their kid decided to copy the Corvette logo here and write it down on the fucking dashboard. But you know, that's just aesthetics things. These things could be fixed in the future if you care. I mean, this car has 200,000 miles on it. I do not care about aesthetics. This isn't going to have any resale value or anything like that, so this does not bother me. All right, looking above us, I took off there's like a roof covered top thing. It was disintegrating, so I just went ahead and took it off, and this is the glue that was on there. See, it doesn't stick or anything, so that's gone. The top mount, everything gets on fine. There's no issues. The mirrors are a little dusty from that top that was on there that was disintegrating. The rear view mirror has a little, you know, it's showing its age, but it still works. Everything's fine. I ended up having an issue with this window. This window, from what I saw after I popped this off, this is a reflector. So like if you're on the side of the road, this you know, someone's headlights will shine off of that, and they'll see that your door is open. Nah, they don't see shit. Anyway, this I ended up having to pop this door panel off, and it was clear that someone else had replaced the motor for this window, but they didn't do a good job, I guess. So what happened was the wires ended up tangling up inside of it, and this window wouldn't go down anymore. So, which is good. I'd rather it not go down than not go up. So yeah, I ended up having to replace that. That was actually really easy, but I ended up making the same mistake that the previous person did. But since I learned from their mistake, I was able to fix that before it ended up having any problems, because it ended up getting tangled up day one. Like I said earlier, the window leaked a little bit, so the carpet, this actually doesn't look that bad. Kind of look behind here. It doesn't look that bad. It's just when I first got the car, it was pretty nasty. Another thing, this seat belt jammed on me once. I accidentally snapped this part right here trying to fix the seat belt, and also when I was fitting the seats in. This is cheap plastic, as always, GM90s right here, and I don't know why, but randomly this seat belt will jam, and then I'll use these vice grips here, and what I'll have to do is slowly pull this back, and it'll lock and then pull and then lock and then pull and then lock and then pull and then lock, and then I'll clamp the vice grips there to keep it from going, and then I can keep buckling up my seatbelt. But then randomly it'll just work. I don't know why, but that's just how it is. The previous owner installed some I forgot what this is called. It's some kind of liner to keep the interior noise down. Another thing I don't really care about, I like the fact that I drive this car for fun. I like feeling a little deaf when I leave it. I still feel that way even with this liner in here. So, but it's mainly because of the trunk. But oh no, I gotta clean this again. See, this is why we call it a swamp house. It's fucking disgusting. I'll be getting a driveway eventually. Anyway, so when he put it back in, the interior didn't line up 100%, whatever. The only thing that I've actually replaced in here is this center console. It did not have a door, and I just bought another center console and attached the door to it. So that's it. And I added these cup holders because I was daily driving it, and holy shit, these cup holders suck. And I didn't want the side cup holder, so I got these, and this wasn't cheap. It was like $100, but it was so worth it. Okay, moving on to the trunk. As you can see, there is no carpet back here. Now, I had to remove the carpet since the target top was leaking. The target top was leaking, and it was dripping down here, and then soaking it up in the carpet. So it was smelling old and just raw in here. And the quickest way to do that, take the carpet out. I did daily drive this for 6 months, and I will tell you, this thing is, it's doable, man. It's so daily drivable. I was going grocery shopping in this. I've never had this much trunk space. Like, it's insane. I could fill this entire thing up with groceries, and these comes with a door. These 3 compartments here come with doors, so this is flat. But I obviously took them all out because there was mold growing in here from the water, and I had to clean it out, blah blah blah. And I just decided, fuck it, like, I don't need any more sound deadening, I don't need any more carpet. It's not important to me, so I just went ahead and took it out. And now inside the car is even louder, but I love it, so it doesn't bother me. I'll just, you know, eventually I'll just clean this up, make it look a little prettier when I get the top fixed. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Oh, another thing. So Corvettes are weird. When you have both doors closed, don't look. Hello. When you have both doors closed, the air pressure keeps the trunk from closing. But you could still close it if you push on it. But if you don't want to do that, open a window or open a door, then close the trunk, and it won't do that anymore. All right, so that is basically it. I haven't had any issues with the drivetrain, with anything. I mean, there are Corvettes out there. I think the one just went into the museum with like 820,000 miles on it. So I am striving to be that guy, or keep this thing running forever. LS motors are very reliable, as I'm sure any car person knows. If you want to hate on them, man, but it's proven to work, and work for a very long time. I guess I might be a little lucky, but I have definitely seen other Corvettes out there that have high mileage and that look like they're in pretty decent shape. Next, what I'll probably do is a mod video. I'll show you what I have done, what someone who wants to mod a Corvette, if it's high mileage vet, you better be modding it, honestly. But anyone interested in doing mods like rims or LED lights or anything like that, I'll talk to you about what some people do, what you should do, what I did, what's cost effective, what's ridiculous, and, you know, blah blah blah. We'll talk about that a little bit more. I have modded this a little bit, and I have had almost zero maintenance issues. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you love my Corvette as much as I do. Like and subscribe for the CAR-NIVORE YouTube channel if you have an appetite for cars like we do. I mean, look at all this. Look at all this junk. Look at all this junk out here. Swamp House is getting full of cars, and we're just gonna have more content coming out here. So show us some support, leave a comment. We're gonna talk to you guys. If you got any thoughts, opinions, whatever, go ahead and give us a shout out and we'll respond. Okay, well, love you all. It's time to go eat.
like one,
this is why we don't come here. Oh, that's how we do it. Is this lane out of order? Are you actually there? Hello?
Hello?
Yes. All right. I want to get a number 3, but as a deluxe, double quarter pounder deluxe. Do y'all still do that?
No, we can't. It's either one or the other.
Okay, then let me get a single quarter pounder deluxe and then another patty. I'll take that as a medium meal.
What a drink?
Give me a water bottle as a drink.
Sorry, a large what?
A water bottle.
A water bottle?
Uh-huh. All right, and then for the second order, what do you want?
Same thing, just double quarter regular.
Second order would be just a number 3 medium
Sprite.
with a Sprite.
You want 2 separate orders?
Yes.
Alright, that would be 982.
All right.
For the second order?
It'll just be a number 3 medium with a Sprite.